Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fire-ass episode of the Men's Physique Show. Got my brothers with me today, as usual. You already know, out of Melbourne, Australia. Kangaroos hopping all around, koala bears playing cards. You know the deal. My boy, our boy, the Australian voice of Men's Physique, Avon Philnicelli. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Avon. That's our dog right there. That's Filthy Phil.
And he's so hot, they have a water day now in Thailand to cool him off. Our boy, McGravy Always Wavy, the culture himself of Men's Physique, the heartbeat of Men's Physique. You know him, Hart McGrath. Let's go.
Let's go, Hart. Let's go.
And your boy, Erin Bolton, the gaffer. Many people want to know what the gaffer means. It means the coach, the boss. Let's go out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm just fresh back from Columbus, Georgia, from the Tri-City Classic. Woo! That was a crazy-ass show. Boys, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, can I just say one thing? I'm not going to be looking like this anymore. Yo.
Tell him why, Gaffer. Tell him why.
Got LASIK surgery on Friday thanks to Eugene Smith out of LASIK Plus. Boy, those boys are incredible over there. My eyesight is clear again. I can see close. I can see far. I got that monovision going on. One eye can see really close. One eye sees far. It's a little getting used to, but it's amazing. Being able to read without glasses, boys, let me tell you something. Don't take it for granted. It's amazing. I'm so excited to be able to read up close again, not look like I'm psychotic when I'm like 2 inches away from the screen. Anyway, shout out to LASIK Plus, Eugene Smith, the doc himself. Thanks so much, brother. I can see again. Let's go.
Here we go. What do we got? Tri-City Classic just went down. It was round 2 between Carlos Asuedu, Ocran versus Emanual Hunter. Amit Agre was in the mix. This was a really exciting show. It was so crazy, Phil. I know you saw some minor adjustments being made by the top guys and things got switched around. What did you think of the show, Phil?
It was exciting. I mean, the fact that we had the top 2 from the Charlotte Pro going head to head again. Obviously, I said it last week, it was good to see Carlos make some tweaks to the physique. We knew that this was going to be a hot battle. We knew that everyone's eyes were going to be on these two guys as soon as the lineup got released. And man, what a battle that it was, man. Like, these guys look completely different. Like their physiques were tightened up. They looked the part. But Gaffer, you were at the venue, man. Straight off the eye surgery, the vision was even better. We know how good you are with analyzing the physiques and dissecting the physiques. But now with that eye vision, 20/20 vision is back. Let them know, man. How was it, front and center?
Bro, first of all, I think my eye's bionic and I could probably look through walls and shoot a laser out of it. Let's see what happens, all right? They said in about a month, you're going to have some special powers. We'll see what happens. But no, seriously, I was able to see these boys from a distance, up close. The deal is this. Both guys made improvements. Emanuel made improvements to his back pose. He came in crispier than he did last week with the conditioning. Carlos came in even tighter, even harder, better conditioning, being able to hold his conditioning because they posed him for a minute up there on that stage, and he changed his posing. He had a better tan on, better glaze. Overall, Carlos basically said, Gaffer, this is what I did. I listened to what you boys said. I got with Neil Yoda, who's his coach, 2 shows now together. Amazing. They made the changes. They made the adjustments. They listened to the judges. They listened to the Men's Physique Show. It was right in line with what everyone was saying. And he changed his look, bro, on this day. It looked amazing. Hart, are you able to bring up the comparison that we just dropped on Carlos from last week and this week?
Yeah, sure thing.
Let's point out a couple of things.
Horde, Erin Bolton just dropped an amazing reel between Carlos Ocran the previous week in Charlotte versus the Tri-City Classic. Go check it out if you haven't. Here it is.
So already you can tell he's posing off the side now when he does that flex pose, that George Brown pose. He starts off now hiding the waist instead of front on. Already a very smart move, right? Hide the waist, show more of the shoulder to waist ratio. Love that, right? So boom, he's on the side versus right in front. Bam, bam. He lightened up his shorts, so he has more of a pop. Shorts play a role, guys. Shorts play a role. If you're too dark and you're just blacked out, it's hard for the judges to really appreciate the detail that you have. So right there, you see Carlos more aesthetic, more flow with his posing. Look how he shows his side lat, right? And the back lat. Really, really nice pose right there, right? Gets right into it. Looks comfortable. Now, here's where it gets really dope. This is where it gets really, really fire, and you'll see the differences. Last week, Carlos was deducted because when he went into his back pose, he had a little bit of skin that was rippled on the lower back, right? He was overposing. He was posing too far back, and his conditioning wasn't as tight as it is this week. This past weekend, man, you didn't see any of that. He posed straight up. Check it out. And you'll see the difference here. Boom. Pause it right there. If you can zoom in, if it's possible, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. So go over to the left where you see how he has those wrinkles in the back right there? Yeah. Right there versus his right shot where he's more erect, pause, and you can see just muscle and no wrinkle whatsoever. So kudos to him for making the adjustments. The right back pose, I think we all agree, you'd be crazy not to, that the right back pose looks absolutely better than the left one. You can appreciate more of the muscle, more of the flow. It's got a better polish. He's standing straight up, more erect now versus leaning all the way back. Pause again. And you can tell he's leaning back because you see how his head is moving forward. You see that little nape in the back of his neck, that little nape bone where it's sticking out more, it's protruding out more because he's leaning way back and has his head going forward, right? Versus the one on the right where he's just stand up. You don't really see the nape bone protruding out as much in that lower portion of his neck. So again, great job making the adjustments, brother. We're going to have Carlos on the show very, very soon. We're doing an interview with him. But wow. And that ghost pose that he does, that ghost back pose, that's just so dope, bro. I love that he does that. You really appreciate the hard work and the muscle development that this guy has put into his physique. Phil, what do you think of this when you see this? When you see Carlos and the changes that he's made, what's the vibe and what's the initial feeling with such a coach's keen eye that you have? What do you get from this?
And Phil,
those little tweaks make all the difference.
Phil, don't be afraid to tell me to stop it whenever you want me to.
All right, done. Mate, to your point, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything that you said. I mean, definitely tell the vision got much clearer, bro, because if you're seeing the head position and stuff like that, like that's attention to detail if I've ever seen it. But you're exactly right, man. Like the little tweaks that he made, I said it last week. Obviously, the flight over to the US, there would have been some water retention being held, and I can see straight off the bat that he was able to flash that off in the last 7 days. That midsection tightened up so much; it was so much sharper. The fact that, and you even noticed that as well, the way that he was posing from the rear shot, even though the wrinkles in the back disappeared, which is obviously due to the fact that he's flushed out the water, just by standing more upright, his waist looked a lot smaller as well. You could see the V-taper from the back, but when you see it side by side with him standing a little taller up, that waist came in. My question now, there is one thing that I do want to touch on, and it was the where his shorts were being positioned. Now, I did see a lot of comments on this where a lot of people commented and said, is his shorts sitting too low? And as you can tell, it's pretty much sitting right above the glutes. And that is going to be something that does come into question over the next couple of months, because obviously it does allow him to, and bodybuilding's a game, a sport of 1%ers, but it really exaggerates that Christmas tree. Look how much detail, look at the glutes and how much size, not how much definition there is in those glutes. It really makes that Christmas tree a lot more pronounced. We see it a lot with his check-in photos as well. He loves putting his underwear a little bit lower to really showcase the depth and the striations in that lower back. But is this something that is going to affect, a judge is going to pick up on this moving forward? Do the judges want to see those shorts placed a little bit higher? Time will tell. Obviously, we'll be able to find that out in the next couple of weeks. But all in all, a much improved package from Carlos Ocran. Really, really happy that he got the win. Really, really deserving of the win as well. And now that he's in the US, hopefully he's got a couple more shows under his belt. I think he may be competing again this weekend. He's got, like I said, he's got 1 foot on the plane to the 2026 Mr. Olympia. Fingers crossed he can secure it while he's in the States. What do you think?
Real quick, just real quick, in terms of the shorts, talking to pro judges Alan Sizemore, Becca Sizemore, shout out to them, and Mike Rattini, they the three of them said that the league prefers the shorts being higher up than that low on the waist, right? They don't want to really see that. However, he got away with it because just the physique was just popping, and it was just, they didn't deduct, but they do deduct from that. So, could they have been up higher? Absolutely. Should they be up a little bit higher? Yes. But the guy came in, lights out. That's the type of stuff you're gonna be able to get away with that a little bit. And the shorts were way, in my humble opinion, and I guess the judges as well, the shorts just look so much better, making his physique pop. So kudos to him. What do you see, Hart?
Man, you boys are so good at what you do. I love hearing you boys first, digesting what you have to say and coming back at it. All I have to say is Carlos Ocran has put the whole league on notice. A couple years ago, getting 8th in the world, a lot of people forgot about that. Phil and I were talking about Carlos last week, and we are saying top 15. He's gotten 8th in the world, and then the year later, he didn't get top 15 again, so everyone kind of forgot about him. Here he is. I mean, if I'm anyone in the top 10, if I'm the Mr. Olympia, even if I'm Ryan Terry, you know damn well Ryan Terry is watching these videos, is looking at Carlos Ocran, is watching his competition. This guy has it all, and all the little tiny fixes that the GAFA gave him over the weekend with his coach, Neil Yoda Hill, in terms of the posing, in terms of the sheen and the polishness that Phil, you talked about last week. Every little detail matters because like we can all see, Horde, since you guys watch this channel constantly, your knowledge is increasing. Like we can all see, Carlos Ocran has it all. It is all there for Carlos Ocran in terms of muscle. And when you have all the muscle, it's just about the flow. It's about the stage presence. It's about the little tiny details that can make you the Mr. Olympia. Carlos Ocran is competing this weekend, correct, guys? At the Wasatch Warrior. Is that true?
Yep. 100%. Yep. He confirmed it.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Carlos Ocran's second place at the Tri-City. Go ahead.
Boys, you know what was really beautiful too? The one of the best moments I think in our sport is Carlos Ocran and E-Man showing love to each other. Go up right there. Yeah.
You guys got to watch this
moment right here.
Horde, go watch this.
Boys,
if you haven't.
This was so magical, this moment, to have number 1 and number 2 flip-flop. And you see the camaraderie and the brotherhood amongst them and how much respect Carlos showed to E-Man, mentioning how he looks up to him. That's one of his one of his physique idols. You know, and the conversations. E-Man shared his cook part of his dope ass strawberry cookie with me and Carlos. I mean, it was nothing but love and camaraderie. That's how men's physique and bodybuilding should be, man. Again, we say it all the time on this show. Bottom feeders are into competition. Top feeders are into collaboration. These boys right here bust their asses to look like they look, to get on stage and perform for everybody and really push themselves to come together after the show and show love. Look at this, man. This was just, it was a magical moment, and it still hits my heart every time I see this, man. This was dope. I'm glad I was honored and had the privilege to be here and put this together for us. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful moment. And I think this is what a lot of people forget. Like, obviously on stage, they all compete against each other. They've all put in the work. But we've heard this from a lot of athletes now, that the friendship and the love that these guys have for each other behind the scenes is beautiful. I mean, it's not always about ripping each other's heads off and whatnot. I know with social media, like, the negativity is what people will kind of strive towards to kind of get the views and the clicks and the likes. But this is what it's about. The friendships. Even though there's camaraderies, even though there's rivalries, end of the day, these guys know exactly how much work they put into this sport, how much sacrifice, how much, how many missed events, missed meals, the works. This is what brings them all together. So I absolutely love this interview, Gaffer. Awesome stuff with it.
Yeah, you killed that. Let's go check out Men's Physique News. Let's talk about second place, Emanual Hunter. Gaffa, you were there in person, but I'll throw it over to Phil first this time. Emanual Hunter, a.k.a. Emax. If you call E-Man, you're calling him by the wrong name. It's Emax. Like the Gaffa said, he's got his licorice ready. He's got his popcorn ready. He's sitting in the theater watching Emax. Emax is here. Avon. Emanual Hunter came to the Tri-City Classic round 2 versus Carlos Ocran. If you're playing Physique League and you saw everyone's picks, 90% of people had Emanual Hunter going back to back and winning 2 shows in a row. That did not happen. Why didn't that happen this week at the Tri-City, Phil?
Carlos just got better. They both got better, but the thing is, Carlos just had that little edge. And when you're at this point in your bodybuilding career, you're splitting hairs. E-Man got better. Absolutely. He's been getting better every single week since the Arnold Classic in Ohio. He's just getting better and better, sharper and sharper and sharper. I think Carlos just came in that little bit sharper, that little bit more polished, had a little bit more pop from the rear. And, I'm not sure what E-Man is doing moving forward, if he's going to continue to compete or if he's going to lock it down. I just feel like he was just beaten on the day by the better athlete, and that's all it is. At the end of the day, it was out of his control. But all in all, like whoever won on the day, no one was going to be mad about it. We saw what happened last week at the Charlotte Pro. E-Man obviously came in a little bit better then. Carlos came in a little sharper and a little bit polished this weekend. I think that was the only difference between the two guys on the end of the day. But like I said, they both looked absolutely phenomenal. Gaffer, front and center, tell us.
Bro, E-Man look. I just love his physique and the way he gets into his back pose nowadays. And you can see those lats really flare out. I mean, he's got one of the most dominating backs. It just so happens that we had an opportunity this past weekend to see out of the 5 top backs in the game, we had 3 of them on the stage simultaneously. And we almost didn't get what the fans desired, which was Dan Ibrahim being next to them to see all 3 backs because they had him in second call out. And then I think the judges realized, wait a second, that's Dan Ibrahim. He does look crazy. Let's bring him out on the first call out. They brought him back on. And then they lined all 3 of them next to each other. And boys, that was a sight to behold. Literally, it was at a drive-in movie theater. You had 3 movie screens. You had the IMAX in right here. You had the Ocran theater right here. And then you had the Ibrahim theater right here. And I was just like with my 3D glasses on, just chomping at the bite with the popcorn and the whole 9. Bros, I bit off both ends of my Twizzlers. I put them in my drink. I was using it like a straw. It was amazing. Okay. It was freaking amazing. Love E-Man's look. The polish was right. Liz had him right. He was right. They haven't had a coach, period. They've been coaching themselves, which is himself. So this has been amazing to see from the Arnold UK to last week and this week. He has literally, their coaching has gone up against Neil Yoda Hill and Cuts. And that's who he's had to battle against from a coaching perspective. And they've done this good. Now I know he's going to be with George Farah. Can't wait to see how that goes because he is a legend in the game from a coaching perspective. E-Man just needs a little bit more detail in that back to bring it out more, accentuate it more, like when he came in 4th at the O a couple of years ago. But wow, I just love his physique, man. I love how he poses. Great job, E. Great job. E-Max. Get your tickets. He's coming the end of the year right before the O. He's gonna get in on points, but it'll be great to see him get in on 2 wins. What you got, Hart?
Yeah, I agree with you, boys. It's just the better athlete won. I think that's really it. But kudos to Liz and Emanuel Hunter for being self-coached last couple shows and going up against the best coaches in the entire world. I'm really excited to see E-Man get with George Farah. We know what he's done. His resume speaks for himself. But man, it's crazy to see someone bring a better back than Emax. I don't know how often each year we say that. Do you guys remember saying that? How often do we say that?
Very rarely.
Almost never.
Very rare.
Maybe
very
Banks. Maybe E-Banks,
yeah.
Like
literally. Let's talk about 3rd place. Let's go into India and a massive couple weeks for India. India proves that they belong on any American stage. Amit Agre gets 3rd place at the Tri-City Classic. This guy just keeps improving. Gaffa, I'm going to throw it over to you first. Amit Agre, him and Cuts have just done a wonderful job. What'd you think of it in person?
Wow. Like the only thing that this guy can do at this point for the rest of the season is just come in slightly better with conditioning. And he was already conditioned, peeled inside out on stage. I mean, he looks phenomenal. He fixed his back pose from last week. That's something we spoke about. He made the changes there. The guy has a phenomenal front pose, has a beautiful transition from back to front. Now, had he been on any stage other than against Emanuel Hunter, Banks, or Carlos Ocran, he would have probably placed first, bro. Like, if you take the top guys out, your Ali Bilal, your Ryan Terry, so forth and so on. If you take those top 6 guys out of the equation, he's probably winning damn near any show that he goes on at this stage, because he just looked that polished. Issa, I can't forget him, of course, but this guy just came in so polished, so clean. Everybody loves his look. You should have heard the crowd cheering for him during his posing and after. Like, people really recognize he's got something special. He's magic in a bottle. He and Cuts just need to keep doing what they're doing, man. And next year, I'm telling you, boys, when he brings that back up even more, woo! This is one of our This is one of the new up and coming guys that I know we're talking about, and I can't wait to drop that on everyone when we drop all that. The new up and coming men's physique guys, because he's definitely in that mix. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. Very similar to what I said about the other two guys just finished ahead of him. He came in absolutely, much more improved and a lot sharper than what he did last week. Obviously, we hope to see him a little bit sharper and sharper and sharper as the season, if he does decide to run the gauntlet while he is in the US. But I've always liked the look of Amit. He's got that beach body like physique. From the waist to the abs to the full chest to the broad shoulders. Like, he's got the look. And we all know that men's physique is about a look. Like, just look at those striations in his chest there. Like, it's something special, something magical to see. And I don't know how many more shows he's going to do in the US. Obviously, this is the first time he's gone to the US and competed up against some of the best athletes in the world. Like you said, Gaffer, like, this guy is an athlete that is worthy of winning pro shows. He was just up against two top, like I said, Carlos has been in the top 8 before, but 2 top 10 Olympians. And they're going to be very, very hard men to beat. But the way that this guy's going in that trajectory, man, this guy's going to be on that Olympia stage very, very shortly. I reckon he's going to be on the Olympia stage this year, that's for sure. But I really like the look of Amit for sure.
Hart, you know about him with the two Olympian qualifications back to back, right?
What are you talking about?
When Amit got qualified for the Olympia last year and the year before, but couldn't travel?
The visa.
No, tell us about
the
it.
visa, I think.
Bro,
tell us about it. What happened?
He literally qualified. He qualified for the O both years, 24 and 25. But because of visa issues, and he couldn't make it over. So this is his first year being able to get his visa approved, be over here, and really showcase his physique. And bro, when I say this dude is so humble and so honored to be here, look at the striations in his pecs, bro.
Man.
It is crazy. It's
crazy
like lines
striations.
of code going across. Like, it looks crazy. But anyway, Amit, can't wait. He's going to be on our show soon. He can't wait to talk with you, Hart. Can't wait to talk with you, Avon. He had nothing but positive things to say, and honor to be on our show. And ladies and gentlemen, Amit Agre out of India will be on the show this week. So can't wait.
Keen for that
Can't
one.
wait to drop. I should have kept that a little bit quieter, huh?
Also, isn't Amit competing again this weekend at the Wasatch Warrior?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He and his wife, I think they fly out this Wednesday. So excited to see. Yo, they're such an amazing couple too. It's so dope to see, like, Amy Terry and Ryan Terry. You see Brandon and Faith now. You see E. Banks and Perla. You see Amit and his wife, Liz and Emanual Hunter. Like, it's no wonder that the most successful people, typically over 85% of them, are married or have a significant other in their life. Because, I mean, what you're able to just bounce off of each other and someone having your back, from the meal prep to the look, being able to give you constructive criticism, the whole nine. It's just dope when you got someone in your corner like that. So kudos to them, and kudos to those couples, man. And
that's
our
a
couple.
cheat. I think that's the cheat code, man. I think that's cheat code, because, like, that's the reason why we align with a lot of our, why we align with our partners, and why guys align with females, is because you want to be with someone who supports you through thick and thin. Be there for the ups, be there for the downs, be there to see your success and help you, through the trenches when things get hard. And I'm with you, Gaffer. Like, we're seeing it more regularly now with a lot of athletes really showcasing their significant others and showing them behind the scenes of their lives. And yeah, that's what makes the best athletes in the world, just having someone behind them every step of the way.
I think you guys did plenty on that one. That was fantastic. Let's move on to fourth place. Let me pull up Men's Physique News so we can talk about who placed fourth. Man, I love seeing our stuff everywhere on their thing. Fourth
good,
place,
doesn't it?
Prodigy Jamal Hill gets fourth place. A lot of people were hyping this guy up. I wasn't too familiar. I knew who he was. But he came out and he showed up. I mean, fourth place right behind those 3 big time guys is really cool. Avon, I'm going to throw it over to you first. Here's a posing routine from Jamal Hill. What did you think of Jamal Hill, brother?
Yeah, he looked great. I mean, he wasn't on a lot of people's radars, to be honest with you. A lot of people were talking about the big names. They were talking about Dan Ibrahim. They were talking about Amit Agre. They were talking about E-Man. They were talking about Carlos. This guy wasn't on anyone's radar, but man, did he slide under the radar really, really well and really shock some people because he looked great. Like the conditioning, he was inside out peeled from what I could see. He's got that nice aesthetic physique. He's got a small waist. He's got a nice round, bubbly chest. He's got, nice streamlined abs and streamlined arms or works. Obviously, like compared to the other guys, they're carrying a little bit more size than what Jamal had, but all in all, very, very nice physique, nice flowing physique. A little bit of back needs to improve, and I bring that up, but that's a lot of people's weaknesses anyway. But I think it was just the size that kind of I wouldn't say hinder him because he still finished in the top 4, but yeah, I just love the aesthetics on Jamal. But Gaffer, you saw him front and center again, man. What do you think about Jamal?
Jamal was like a shocker, bro. I'm glad that I got an opportunity to see him up close and personal because he has a very, very bubbly chest. His muscle bellies are really, really solid, outstanding. In fact, I love he has like on his ab cage, he's got like a crescent similar to Vitor where it does that moon crescent like this, that C on the side. Man, that thing was dope to look at. That's a special transition that he needs to keep incorporated in his posing because it really showcases his obliques. It showcases his abs. That cage, like I said, that ab cage. It's a beautiful shot for him. The issue with Jamal, and I was able to tell him this, but he wasn't able to, I think, make the improvements. Your habits take over in such a short period of time. And he got the same thing from the judges, is keep your chest up. When he goes into that transition, you can see his chest is low. He's crunching down a little too much. Even when he walks off the stage, you can see him slunched over just a little bit. He needs to stay upright. When you walk on the stage and walk off the stage, when you're on the side, you always want to showcase your physique because you're being watched at all times. You don't know which judge is looking at you, what they're thinking. Give him the best look that you can possibly give him. But wow, he beat Dan Ibrahim, boys. He beat Dan Ibrahim.
That's huge.
So the guy had beautiful polish, beautiful glaze on the physique, great board shorts, made his physique pop. Kudos to him. I told him, hey, you're going to be on the show. You just made it to the show. He was so hyped. So glad you're on the show, Jamal. Can't wait to see you again, brother.
Pass that off, Aleem. My turn?
It's on you, baby. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I got caught up.
No, you're good.
I got caught up in looking at
it. No one's passed it off to anyone this show. We just talk. We're done. I love it. Really excited for Jamal Hill. Really, really cool. Let's talk about 5th place, Dan Ibrahim. This was a big name. Big following, very exciting physique. Love when he posts on social media. A lot of stuff goes viral, and for good reason. He's freaky muscle. Dan places 5th at the Tri-City Classic.
Can you give us?
Yes, sir.
Can you give us your assessment, brother? Can you give us your assessment? Because I know you've been following Dan Ibrahim for a while now, and you actually got me interested in Dan Ibrahim a few years ago. So. What do you see, brother? Because you've been following him. What do you see in terms of improvements and changes that he's made, and what would you like to see?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Dan Ibrahim, man, yeah, I've been talking about him for a long time. Love the muscle. I started following bodybuilding because of Kai Green, Phil Heath. Back in 2011, I used to watch the Olympia. I used to try to make YouTube videos on that, believe it or not. So I love the freaky muscle mass guys. Dan is one of those guys. I love his physique. I'm really glad he's in men's physique. Me and Gaffa, I want to start off with the critique first. We were talking about it the other day, me and Aleem, and we're saying how he just looks a little too narrow when he poses. And that's because of mainly his arms and his lats and the way he just lets them hang down. I agree with you, Aleem. I think this guy needs to somehow, I don't know if it's raising the chest, I don't know if it's flaring the lats a little bit more, but I think he can look a little bit wider on stage, especially from the front pose. And he has the width. But he looks good from the front. This is the best I've seen Dan in terms of posing and stage presence. So the improvements were definitely made. Definitely made from Dan, which I really like to see. I like the manifest shorts as well. Those look really good. Transitioning with that Ventura step. Very smooth poser. I like it. Flexing the abs. Nice little package. From the back, again, one of the best backs in the league, just freaky muscle from Dan from the back. Definitely poses the back. I still think he can pose the back a little bit better. I don't know if the arms are a little bit too high because the muscle's there. Yeah. It almost reminds me of like a Dilson. Like Dilson has that muscle. Sometimes he hits the back pose perfect and sometimes he just doesn't. So for me, posing is, again, still one of Dan hindrances. Like that looks better there than him opening up. But very talented athlete with Dan. There's still so much more that we can get out of Dan. Hopefully he makes some adjustments, comes back to stage even better. What did you guys think of Dan Ibrahim at the show?
Bro, you said it. You hit it right on the head about Dan. Agree. Check all the boxes. Love Dan's personality. Love Dan's look. His muscle goes crazy. But 100% agree with you about the posing. You know, the front pose could be better. The back pose could be better. Bring those arms down. Bring the forearms in. Take away the space from the lats and the arms. And then he's got something even more special right there. What do you think, Phil?
I mean, in terms of what you guys have said, I mean, you've pretty much hit the nail on the head. I'm probably just going to end up repeating exactly what you boys said. But I got a question about those Manifest board shorts because, man, number one, they look damn dope. What's that tape doing on that waistband? I don't know if it's a sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a sponsorship thing or whatnot, but man, if Dan's not being sponsored by Manifest at the moment, I think this is an opportunity to do so. So he can showcase that physique a little bit nicer with the Manifest branding in that rear shot. But yeah, I'm
agree with
about that one.
Yeah,
we know he likes the shorts. That's what we do know. He loves the Manifest shorts. I see Alex in the comments. Alex
how can he not like him? Alex Caesar, of course.
Cool. Let's hop over to 6th place. We have Travis Yao. This guy's been competing last weekend or two. I don't know too much about Travis Yao, but again, a solid finish, a top 6 finish. I don't know if we have any posing. Let's see what this is from. A day ago, Tri-City Classic. Gaffa, I'll throw it over to you first. You saw this guy in person. What do you think of Travis?
Yeah, I like Travis, man. I like him. He comes in conditioned. He comes in really like what you expect a men's physique athlete to look like, especially in today's era where, you know, you've got the really thicker muscle on, you know, so it's a more dense look than it used to be a few years ago. He can still bring up the chest a little bit. He's flat here, so I don't think he had carved up yet here. He looked much fuller on stage than here. But I like him, man. I like him. And I know he's with I think he's with Manifest, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's one of the Manifest athletes. So I like I like
Ben.
his look.
You see Ben coaches him?
Ben Quill coaches him? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I like his look, man. He's got a nice flow. Nothing that's really goes crazy like some of the other athletes. He's just got a really good package that's tight, you know, and poses really well. He controls what he can control, and that's what you want to see. You know, nothing outstandingly freakish. The back doesn't go freakish, but it's right. You know, the shoulders don't go freakish, but they're right. The chest doesn't go freakish, but it's right. You know, he's just a really, really good package, well put together, and it was great to see him out there. I wish we would have had a couple of minutes to chop it up, but I was all over the place back there, so unfortunately, I just missed chopping it up with him.
He's definitely someone that you don't want to sleep on because I'm the same as you, Hart. I didn't know too much about him. Obviously, saw him for the first time at the Charlotte Pro last weekend. He got top 6 there. Went to Georgia, got top 6 again. So this guy is a name that we're definitely got to keep our eye on. He's not just some mediocre IFBB pro. He's someone mixing it up with some of the best athletes in the world, coached by one of the best athletes and coaches in the world as well, in the form of Ben Quill. But yeah, this guy's got some, like you said, Gaffer, nothing that's crazy, like wow sort of factor. He's just got a really nice put together physique. He's got nice lines. He comes in conditioned as well. Obviously, this from the rear, we can definitely add some size to the back and add some size to the front shot as well, to the chest more importantly. But yeah, just a very, very nice, well put together physique. You know, he definitely is going to shake up the the pro stage in the 2026 season. He's already doing it. You know, obviously, coming very close to some of the best athletes in the world as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing this guy back on stage in the near future. Hart, what do you think?
I think you boys are spot on. I want to talk about Clarence McSpadden because a lot of people seem to be a little disappointed on Clarence McSpadden, but a lot of people don't understand Clarence McSpadden's journey over the last year. Gaffa, I know you're good friends with Clarence, and he opens up to you, and you understand what's going on. Not that he didn't bring a solid package, not that he doesn't look good, but it is kind of strange to see Clarence McSpadden at a normal tier show not getting in that top 5. What's going on with Clarence, Gaffa?
Yeah, I think he's just. I think there's a few things, right? When you add everything up, I think that's how we wind up where we wind up. And what I mean by that is, in my humble opinion, and based off of what I heard, from one judge at least, his conditioning was better this week than it was the week prior. So, I mean, at the UK, Arnold UK, excuse me. So he brought his conditioning, got even crispier. I mean, look at that guy, man. He brings conditioning, no doubt. He didn't have the year to develop the back, as we mentioned with the Arnold UK, but his back looked improved here than it did at the Arnold UK, for sure. Conditioning goes crazy in the back as well as the front. Beautiful posing. What I think were some of the hindrances, I think he just got overlooked. And that happens sometimes. I think he just got slightly overlooked. He didn't have the pop in the shorts. Not that people think that like the shorts shouldn't matter, but you've got that tan on, you're looking dark. You've got the dark shorts on and everything. There's not really a pop. And I think that was a slight hindrance to his look, because when he rocks the red dark sport shorts, the same style, like right there, it just has more pop. It has more flavor to it. And I think it would have looked better at this show. The guys purposely changed their shorts. So, I mean, you saw Carlos Ocran go from 1 week to the next week with a much lighter board shorts. You saw E-Man put white shorts on for finals last week when he won the Charlotte Cup. So, I mean, there's a reason why the shorts matter. They make it pop. But I think that, a couple of things, again, he'll put the more size on. He's just getting back on the horse again, competing. As he continues to compete, he'll get more dialed in. He'll get better. He has more shows that are coming up. And I think that, most judges are probably not going to overlook him on a go forward again. Like he's that guy who's got a reputation, who's got a look. He screams men's physique when you look at his physique, for sure. Definitely a beach bod that most people wish that they had. And you can see this guy on any cover or on any beach bod, product or whatever, promoting it, because he's just got that look. What are you thinking, Phil? What you got with this?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously he hasn't had the time to be able to put on the size in the rear shot. Like with his conditioning, there's absolutely no doubt about it. There's a reason why he's called Samurai Shreds, and he delivered. Like, and I'm with you, man. In terms of the comparison with the UK show, he definitely came in sharper. And shorts, like you said, shorts play a massive part. You want to create as much attention as you possibly can. If it's going to, and the thing is though, like with the darker shorts, yes, they do make the waist a little bit smaller, but sometimes it's more about the pop more than anything. And judges want to pick people apart. They want to see what makes you better than the guy above you. I think for Clarence, I mean, he controlled the controllables. And I've said this time and time again, all you can do in the position that he's in right now after the accident, after the limited time that he was able to spend in an off season, there wasn't really much he could do. Now it's just presenting the best package that he can possibly can in this current time. And I think he definitely did that. His strength right now is his conditioning, is his shreds. And he delivered. Like, look at the lower back, look at the Christmas tree. You can definitely see the striations coming through the Christmas tree. Striations when he hits that side sort of chest pose as well. He looks the part. He's a physique that people do aspire to look like. I can see him on the cover of a muscle and fitness magazine. I can see him walking, down the beach, top off, just looking the part. That's men's physique. And and what I liked about it is he's still got that kind of OG look of it. Not the right from the start men's physique look, but he's got that OG like look before these guys became not mass monsters, but a lot bigger than what they were back in the days. So I want to ask you, Gaffer, if I mean, I'm not sure what show Clarence is doing next. I don't know if he's locking it down. What do you think he should improve on, or what he needs to do leading into the next? If he competes at Sasquatch, what's how do you pronounce it?
Wasatch Warrior. Wasatch Warrior. Yeah.
If he does do the Wasatch, what do you think he needs to do to improve on what happened over the last weekend?
He's not going to do the Wasatch, but he is doing another couple of shows. And I'm trying to remember what show he said, but one thing for sure is he needs to come in a little bit fuller. And I know he and Cuts are working on that. So he will be, have a little bit more carbs. He'll be a little bit fuller next go around for sure. I think he's competing in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Again, I like to see the chest a little fuller. I like to see the back a little bit fuller. Conditioning is a non-issue for him. I mean, he stays, especially when you get to this level of conditioning. Ali Bilal said it perfectly. Like, when you're in this level of conditioning, you can almost eat anything you want, right? Because it's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about spilling over or anything. You're just shredded. So I think it'll do his body right. I like to see him change the shorts. And just if I'm a judge, and you know how they want to always see that clean look, that clean look. Not that he should make the adjustment here with what I'm about to say. E. Banks got away with it the whole nine, and so has Clarence in the past. But if he didn't have the beard, I think it just gives a fresher, cleaner look. And again, men's physique is about the aesthetic. It's about a look. It's a beach bod. He's and I'm gonna say pause. This is like a little brother to me, but pause. He's a handsome guy, so show it off. Show it off. Show off everything that you got, and really, like you said, Phil, control those controllables. In my humble opinion, what you got, Hart?
I like what he says here in his story. What do you guys think of that?
As soon as they count me out, the dog kicks in. I like that. He's coming back with a vengeance.
Yo, he don't play. He's always for the smoke. Check out Samurai Shred's interview on the Men's Physique Show YouTube. Why would you not? He dropped gems. You want to know about getting sponsors? You want to know he's got some of the best sponsors, Dark Sports, Celsius, Chic, the whole nine. He drops gems on that, drops gems on conditioning, how he had to make adjustments from after the car accident in order to just get in the shape that he's in with a back injury. I mean, like, you gotta listen to it. Go ahead, Hart. Sorry. I see E. Banks up there. Let's go.
Speaking of interviews.
Avomp. Erin Banks. Yes, who we just interviewed, says, look at my puffy ass on the left. Yeah, we shouldn't have did the Olympia. Wow, I'm surprised you said that. Still ended up in 4th in the world, but I'm not about to act like that was my best, Phil. I don't clown myself often, but looking at that prep, that was ass. That was garbage, he says. Was I chasing size, Phil? He says, yeah. Was I slacking on my meals? Yup. And look where it got me. That's why I never put blame on cuts. He not here babysitting me, making sure I'm doing everything right. At the end of the day, I know the caliber of athlete I am, and I should have moved like it. But when I'm locked in, it's a whole different story. That version of me don't guess, don't cut corners, don't play with the process, so I don't run from this. I own it, because this is the reminder. You either cheat the process or you become it. Ain't no in between. Erin Banks, about a month out of the Pittsburgh Pro. What'd you think of this post, Phil?
I love it, man. I love it. It's the fact that, it's almost like that, I've said it before, the champion mentality. It's like, you don't put the blame on anyone else. This is, even though you've got a team in your corner, bodybuilding is very individual. You're the only one that can eat the meals. You're the only one that can do the cardio. You're the only one that can train. You're the only one that's able to do anything. And the fact that he's admitted that and say, you know what, I didn't put it all. I know I didn't do everything that I could control last season, and reflect back on it and realize, okay, he's not making that same mistake again. Yes, he was fortunate enough to come 4th last year at the Olympia. Well, if he were to do the exact same thing again, could that happen? Probably not. We look at the caliber of athletes that are coming up the ranks. Look at your Duchans. Look at your Edvan Palmeiras. These guys are right on their tail. Yes, he got away with it last season. I don't think he's going to be making that same mistake again. We spoke to him not long ago, and on the interview, he realized that dog in him is back. He's bringing back looks, his best look, which was, again, I'm not going to talk about it. I'll let you guys listen to the interview on the look that he's looking to bring to this season, the 2026 season, the Pittsburgh Pro, the New York Pro. This guy ain't playing around anymore. He's ready to rock and roll. The old Erin is back. And when we say the old Erin, we want the old Erin, but we want a new version of the old Erin. That's all we want. That's what the fans want. That's what the Horde want. That's what the Men's Physique Show wants. And looking at this, he's well ahead of where he was last season. And if he came top 4 with the physique that he presented in that before and after, what are we going to see in 2026? It's going to be very, very special and very, very interesting and very exciting to see. Gaffer, we know you love E-Man. E-Banks, sorry. Let him know.
Bro. Both of them, right? You ain't wrong about either one of those guys. Yo, Aaron, there's a couple of guys that get me super hype, and we all know E-Banks gets me really hype. Like, when he and I are together, I become like old boy out of Dark Sports. I just start turning all the way up, because that's my guy. That's my guy, and to see him come up and rise to the level of stardom that he has right now is special. But everything you said, Phil, you hit it right on the head. One thing I say is, hey, watch that video, watch that interview with E. Banks, because he drops gems on their diet and what they've made, the changes that they've made specific for him to come with the next V.2 version of Erin Banks. And I think people are going to be Erin, the resume Banks, surprised, because his resume goes hard. Pause. And when you see what he brings this year, he knows that guys are on his heel, like you said, Phil. He ain't playing. He's not playing games. Like, he's locked in, totally locked in. And he's got his girl now. Man, listen. And his new, and I don't want to give it all away. Anyway, watch the interview. Hart, how you feeling?
I'm just super grateful to have a relationship with Erin. It's cool on that interview. I don't want to give it away. Holy shit, you're right. There's so much good shit on that interview.
So much to say,
I don't want
Keep it
I don't want to
timely,
give it
Bob.
away. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is great marketing for the interview. Yeah, I mean, when we do our predictions video for the Pittsburgh Pro, and we don't have Erin placing first, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping because clearly things are different this time around. Clearly things are changing between him and Cuts, and Erin seems very locked in. I hope he stays locked in, because what I want to see is the best Erin Banks versus the best Ali Bilal. I don't know if we've seen that. I know we didn't see that last year at the Mr. Olympia. So the fact that we get to see it a few months before the Mr. O is really, really exciting. More updates, guys. Li JinBo. I mean, we could talk about this guy every single week if we wanted to, and for good reason.
Wow, yeah.
This guy has some freaky updates. Here's another one. I mean, Gaff, I'll throw it over to you first this time. Is Li JinBo placing top 15 at the Mr. Olympia? Is he already qualified? I mean, he just smoked Ben Quill. This guy's the real deal. Talk about it.
Bro, when you can hit the Superman pose like he does, I mean, it is something special. We just posted a quick little story with Superman cartoon character in the same position as Li JinBo, with Li JinBo. You know, just to show you how the similarities exist, how they literally drew cap shoulders, the biceps, the forearms running with the striations, the huge chest sticking up and everything, the small, narrow waist. The distance between the shoulders is something that you want to get on a Greyhound bus and go from one shoulder to the next. Make sure you got your ticket stamped. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy just pulls it off great. Striations go crazy. Li JinBo, man, one of my favorite athletes out right now, for sure. I think it's a travesty if he doesn't wind up getting top 15. I mean, I know it's hard to say because so many guys are bringing it this year, but this dude is the triple truth Ruth. Like, I love his relentless pursuit to evolve and become better. Li JinBo, man, props to you, brother. What you got, Phil?
I don't know what show he's doing, but I've got a gut feeling he's doing the China Pro either this week, I think it was this week or next weekend. This is his opportunity to lock it down. You know, he's arguably, which show is it hard? I can't see. It is a China Pro. So he's doing the China Pro. So we saw what he did a couple months back, I should say. In Asia, you know, obviously had beat the likes of Ben Quill, and now it's his opportunity to, like I said, stamp his authority in China, prove to the world why this guy is one of the best athletes coming out of Asia. I mean, he wins this one, he's locked down that 2026 qualification. Now he just lock it down and really just focus on making improvements, you know, for the Olympia later this year. Will this guy go neck and neck with Zhu Shen? He is one of the best athletes coming out of Asia. Possibly. You know, we saw exactly what Zhu Shen was able to do in 2025. We are obviously seeing updates. He's doing the New York Pro and the Pittsburgh Pro in a couple of weeks' time. But you know, if we've got a top 1 and 2 athlete, a Chinese or Asian athlete, or Chinese, I should say, these are definitely the guys to keep your eyes on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy at the China Pro in a week or so.
Or is Zhu Shen doing the China Pro?
I don't believe so. I think he's just getting ready for Pittsburgh. I only say that because he doesn't look ready, like I guess Li JinBo.
Yeah, he doesn't look ready.
A recent update, but that's exciting. Is the show this weekend, Phil? Do you know?
I think it's
anyone?
this week or next week.
Yes, this weekend.
It is this weekend.
Yeah.
Bro,
I have Li Jin going. I mean, I don't know who else is going to be in that show. If Zhu Shen is not in the show, I don't think anyone is beating Li JinBo. So I just don't. I don't see it. I don't know who's in the list, but I don't care who's on the list. Like, I don't see, unless Ali Bilal says I'm flying over to China, which he's not. Or, you know, the likes of Erin Banks or Brandon says, you know what? Joke's on you guys. I was just getting ready for the China Pro and I've been dark. No.
So we saw the reception that Erin Banks what he got when he went to China. So, hey, the guy loves the country. So imagine he just rocks up and say, hey, boys, I'm back.
Nah, he's locked in with Cuts. He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Speaking of not going anywhere, the Lucky Libra, the OG of all OGs, is heating up, man. He has been saying some things. I can feel his energy through the Instagram feed. he's excited to be back in this thing. I don't know what happened or what triggered this momentum of him to just start posting and start to feeling it again. But Gaffa, this is exciting stuff. What do you think about Andre Ferguson coming back into the league and making a mark? Do you think he's still capable of, a year or two ago, I would say like getting top 15, but can this guy still qualify for the Olympia? I mean, can he win 2 pro shows? You think that's possible for Dre at this point in his career?
It's hard to call. And I'm gonna say this why. First of all, I think he's got excited because, the men's physique show continues to bring excitement to the division. And I know he watches our show. He's been on our show before, and we've chopped it up, obviously. We need to get an interview with Andre for sure because he's something special, man. He's been around for a while. He's a walking wealth, a pool, an ocean of knowledge. So can't wait to have him on. Dark sports athlete. The dude goes crazy. He's one of those guys that, just never won the big show, the Olympia, right? But he's won the Arnold. He just never won the Olympia. And, that's the only thing missing from his resume. But, as of right now, he's the all-time most winningest men's physique athlete on the planet Earth right now. He's won more shows than anybody. So shout out to Andre. And I'm glad to see he's a master. Shout out to all the masters guys out there. You already know. But do I think that he'll make it to the O? I think he'll make it to the O. I think, first of all, Andre's strategic and how he goes about doing shows. Like you got George Brown going out to Puerto Rico this weekend. He'll probably pick a couple of shows that there might not be a lot of smoke, although he is going to do the Toronto Pro and go up against Drew Cullen. So that'll be interesting to see. If Drew wins, we got to give him the name Mr. T, especially if you beat Andre. So Mr. Toronto, Mr. T, put some gold chains on him in our memes or something. I don't know. But Andre goes sick, man. He's got some of the best abs. He's got a beautiful physique, full muscle belly still in his 40s. And, I'm always rooting for the Masters guys, the guys who take care of their bodies, have always taken care of their bodies and really give the guys, the younger guys a run for their money. So he talks a lot of shit. He just better back it up this year because he's done it before. And just took his foot off the gas pedal and ate what he wanted to eat and just did enough. I want to see this guy really, really bring it. So you're normally innocent until proven guilty, but he's guilty until proven innocent right now because of all the years. But look at this shot. I mean, again, one of the masters of the Superman pose, Andre Ferguson. Shout out to him again. Love what he's doing also with Alex over there on their podcast. What you got, Hart? Let's switch it up a little bit. What you got, Hart, on Andre?
Yeah, man, I would love to see Andre shock the league and win a couple pro shows at his age, at this time in his career. 28 IFBB pro champ, 10-time Olympian, 3-time Arnold Classic champ. He's still hanging on. I think this is another year, another chance for him to prove that he still belongs in the mix. And, if he wins a pro show, a couple pro shows, it's legendary to me. He's an absolute legend. No one has 28 pro wins. I remember a few years ago when he got 20, I was like, wow, this is the most exciting thing ever. He's a legend. And now he's about to get 30. I think 30 would be pretty cool. Phil, what do you think of Andre, brother?
I've always liked Andre's look, to be honest with you. Obviously one of the OGs of the sport. His resume says it all. 28 pro show wins. He's won Arnold Classics. He's been, so close at the Olympia as well. Like, how can you keep this guy out of the conversation in terms of qualifying? Like, this guy knows what needs to be done. And now that he's fully locked in, we saw how many Masters shows he won last year. The guy still knows how to win. Even when mentally he wasn't there to win, he was just there to collect the checks. He's got a different mentality going into this season. This guy now knows between him and George Brown, these guys are now fully locked in. They want to show the competition. They want to show the vision that don't write off these older guys. These guys, still have what it takes. 40-year-old and he's still rocking a bod like that. Like, you don't see many guys, keeping that shape, keeping that size, keeping that muscle. He's got all the parts. He's got the core. He was probably one of the OGs that had the tightest core in the Olympia stage in the division. He's got the muscle. He's got the structure. He's got the small waist. Like, he's got the parts. Now that he's got the mentality, now he's fully locked in, he could shake it up. And like you said, Gaffer, like, this guy knows about the sport. He's very, very smart. We've spoken to him before. We've heard him, if you're a men's physique fan, I'm sure you've heard him everywhere. This guy is very, very smart. And I know that he's going to be very specific with the shows that he does do. If it means doing a couple of smaller shows, if it means doing a couple of bigger shows, whatever it is, there is a reason why Andre Ferguson is doing that show. Don't think it's a lucky dip. Don't think it's just a guess. Don't think he's just thrown his name in the hat for no reason at all. There are reasons why he will be doing the shows that he's doing. I'm looking forward to seeing a fully locked in Andre Ferguson in 2026.
Quick holy shiz moment. Hart, when you put up those words, his post, and what he wrote there, bro, it was so dope to be able to read that just now and not have to have my glasses on. Wow. This is like night and day for me right now. All of this would be blurry white, and now I can see everything clear. Wow. Let's go LASIK Plus.
This is like an eye test for Gaffer, this episode.
It is, bro. It is, literally.
So true. Last couple topics before we end the video. This was really exciting to see. I want to say it's out of the United Kingdom. Daniel Tuinea, I want to say, has turned pro. And the reason I want to talk about him is because he's dropped some physique updates recently that have absolutely gone viral. The amount of muscle separation, the amount of thickness, the amount of density that this guy has is pretty insane. The calves that this man has is pretty insane. Not often do we talk about a guy going pro, but when he looks this crazy, shout out to Beyond the Stage TV for capturing this moment. This was pretty cool. Avomp, did you see this happen this weekend, and kind of what'd you think? And if this is the first time, just have fun at it. I think this was pretty exciting to see. What'd you think of this?
Yeah, no, this is the first time seeing this, and man, like I'm telling you, the UK, the guys there are starting to bring it. Like we always knew the US was the bodybuilding capital of the world, but I'm telling you, the guys that are coming out of the UK is something special. We've seen so many great athletes come out of that. The UK is a continent now. Is the UK a continent? It's not part of Europe anymore, I think. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, I really like the look of this guy. Like this guy carries some goddamn size, man. Like the proportions on him. Like look how thick the arms are. Look at the cap delts. Look at the chest. Look at the core. Like he's even got some wheels on him. Like he's got some nice legs, some nice calves. Like man, bodybuilding is getting exciting. Men's physique's getting exciting. And if the standard is always getting raised. But if this is the next generation of men's physique athletes, pro athletes, man, we've got we're going to have a lot of discussions moving into 2026 and beyond. And fans get excited. This is an exciting time to be a men's physique fan. Gaffer, is this the first time you've seen this guy?
Yeah, it's my first time, bro. And I've seen him online before. Like he follows us and everything, which I love. And first of all, he's got his glasses. They look dope on him, but he could get that LASIK also, like your boy Gaffer. Okay, see real clear. Let's go. But his excitement, I'm bought into the personality. The personality is just so infectious. That joy that he just screamed out. I remember winning my pro card. I felt the same way. I had a similar reaction, bro. Like when you've dug deep and been able to win and turn pro, it's such a special, magical moment because the hill that you had to climb in order to get to that next stage in your journey. So great to see that he packs on a lot of muscle. I'd like to see him against other guys, like standing next to other guys, and just see his height ratio. I mean, right there. I don't know how tall the guy next, I think that's his coach or not. Look at him picking up his lady. Another amazing woman in his corner, of course, right? That's really dope to see. And bro, so many props, so many blessings I'm sending his way. We're sending his way because this is what you want to see. This is men's physique right here. Enjoy the win, brother. We'll see you in the pros. He's got some improvements he's going to need to make, but this ain't the time to talk about that. This is the time to give him his props and everything. Kudos to you, brother, turning pro. Let's go.
Very, very happy for you, brother. Men's Physique Show wants to congratulate you. The Hungarian Ryan Terry continues to update, and the posts are starting to go viral. Tomas Godo, Men's Physique Pro, is coming. Here we go, boys. Saturday, May 23rd is the show, the Miami Pro. Look at this update. Who wants to take this on? This guy looks cool. It's going to be so cool to see him up there on stage, to see how it really looks. You guys always talk about how guys look amazing standing by themselves. Do you think this physique will translate to the stage and get him a top 3 placing? What do you guys think?
I think it's hard to bet against him, to be honest with you. Like, we've called him the Hungarian Ryan Terry for a reason, man. Like he's literally got very similar features to the champ himself. And we've said the same about Dilson Espandola. You know, end of the day, like there is a standard right now. And if you're matching or coming close to that standard, you've got to be in the conversation. He's got such a beautiful silhouette. Like, look how small that waist is. Like, he's got the flaring lats. He's got the streamlined arms. He's got the nice chest. Like, the guy has the parts. Now, obviously, this is flat. I don't know when the Miami Pro is. I think it was the May the 23rd. So he's got another month, just over a month under his belt. How much sharper can this guy get? How much more condition can this guy get? And then when the food comes in, man, this is going to be a sight to see. But yeah, I think you definitely need to have this guy in the conversation. Gaffer, you're going to the Miami Pro. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be boots on the ground there for us brothers. And the only thing that I would say, I love his front shot. I like how he presses into his hips with his fingers in order to bring out the striations in his shoulders, accentuate the triceps and the forearms, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful, look at this. Boom, right? That's a really nice shot for him. His lats look really good in the front shot. They look good in the front shot. Not on the level of Ryan Terry yet, but he's new. He's coming up. What I'd like to see though, and what makes me a little nervous, nervous is the wrong word, but what makes me question how he's going to actually compare next to the other guys is when he turns to the back, when he faces the curtain. He doesn't have the widest back right now, so it really depends on who's in that lineup to determine where he's going to place. I do think that he's got the look. I mean, pause. He's a handsome guy. He's got a great front shot. He's got conditioning. I mean, if he's this far out of the Miami Pro and he's looking like this, I think he's right on target. You know what I mean? He still has another 4 to 5 weeks under the belt before the Miami Pro. Maybe even longer than that, right? He's got, when is it? May
3rd. I think he's got
May
just
23rd.
over a month.
So yeah, he's got like six weeks or whatever. It'll be beautiful to see in person, but I'm rooting for the guy, man. I think he's got a lot of really good muscle. Like he's got really good muscle on that front shot for sure. How everything is going to translate when he turns to the back. See how the left lat comes out a little bit more than the right lat right there. He's got to probably get some scapular work done because that right lat is kind of pressed up a little against his back. It's not flaring all the way out. So I just think he needs to get a little work there. May have a little pinch there and post right. Give it your best, and let's see what happens. But great front shot though. But, men's physique, you got to bring the front and the back in order to really crack in these pro shows, especially Miami Pro, bro. Miami Pro is a big show. So some guys are going to really be there. I mean, they got knights fighting in shining armor at the Miami Pro in a ring with swords. I mean, it's a big deal, that show. So not quite the Pittsburgh Pro, but it's up there. So hope he brings it. That was fun, guys.
All in all, I think it's going to be a massive show, and it's going to attract some of the best athletes in the world. I'd love to find out who's going to be doing that show because it's a vibe. From what I've been told, the Miami Pro, they've got, like you said, Gaffer, the big expo, the works. But I think that's going to be a very, very exciting show to see. Hart, you want to wrap it up?
I'm going to have you wrap it up. That was an amazing episode. A lot of fun stuff. We'll be back Thursday for a prediction video. There's like 3-4 shows this weekend, which is absolutely insane. But that was the wrap up of the Tri-City Classic. Bunch of new updates going on. Phil, I'll throw it over to you.
Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this episode. The season now is well and truly underway, and it's just going to heat up from here. If you haven't already, guys, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, tap the bell icon so that you're one of the first to be notified whenever an interview or an episode goes live. And I'm telling you, there is going to be a very, very exciting interview dropping next week. So you want to stay tuned for that one. Secondly, make sure to like and drop a comment on this video. It definitely helps with the algorithm. And last but not least, take a screenshot of this episode, QR codes on the top right-hand corner, upload it to your story, tag the Men's Physique Show official, Hart McGrath, Aline Bolton, and Phil Naselli, and we'll reshare that one to our pages as well. And last but not least, a special shout out to all the guys powering the show, Manifest Board Shorts. You can see through all the content that we've been doing, a lot of the top athletes in the world are rocking those board shorts. So make sure to get your pair if you are jumping on stage in 2026 and beyond. Physique Fitness, ProSeek, Huge Supplements, Kippy, Skincare, and Dr. Campbell over there at the Center of Wellness and Pain Care. All their discount codes, all the links are in the description below. And other than that, guys, enjoy your morning, enjoy your night, enjoy your evening, whatever time you're watching this. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.